Definitely some interesting stuff in terms of AI this past week came out. It looked pretty interesting as they continue to fight between the actors and actresses, and they've finished the writers' strike. But I suspect the actor strike will take even longer, as it looks like Disney and other companies are absolutely happy to replace actors with AI, in particular background actors right now, and it's pretty hilarious. Disney movie Prom Pact freaks out audiences with, quote, horrendous AI extras. Now I don't know if this is just new, if this is just like new to the news cycle, because I feel like I saw this a while ago. I feel like I saw these screenshots like a couple months ago. A disturbing blink and you'll miss it moment from a recent Disney teen film is getting attention on social media, with those who spotted it labeling it horrendous. The Disney teen rom-com Prom Pact was first released in March this year. Okay, yeah. But one short clip of the movie is spreading online this week. The scene shows a cheering crowd of high school basketball game, but one row of members actually looks markedly different than those around them. While the people in the front row are all normal human actors, a close look at the row of, quote, people in the row behind them is very disturbing indeed. Dead-eye and stiff, their bodies jerk strangely as they stare straight ahead. They seem more like animated blow-up dolls than humans. That's because they're not humans. They are, in fact, digital models added into the frame in post-production, presumably to save paying real human background extras. Now, I can't imagine that this is cheaper, given everything that we knew, or that we know about the cost of video effects and things like that. But this is very weird. They look like maybe 2010 Skyrim people. They don't even look like anywhere near decent. The clip caused a minor controversy back when the film was released in March, but has now been shared widely again after one person on Twitter reshared it with the caption, quote, reminder, this is what the actors are fighting against. Well, I think the reality is, though, okay, the reality is that this is the future. I agree. I don't understand. I didn't think extras made any money. I can't imagine you would save it. I think this is probably more about, can we pull it off? Can we start, bringing in less extras? Can we bring in, can we slip it by the viewers? And then, that's more, I think, what this is about than necessarily, actually putting something convincing out there. I mean, it looks terrible. As the clip spread again, the bizarre-looking extras were labeled horrendous and abominations. Others noted that the row of digital extras appeared to be mostly people of color. Of course! Why wouldn't this immediately get into a race issue? Why couldn't we all just come together and say and meme on this and laugh at it and say it looks funny? No, gotta get all racial about it. Others noted that the row of digital extra appeared mostly people of color, potentially taking acting away from those performers of diverse backgrounds. Of course. I mean, are you kidding me? Of course. Of course that's what this is about. We can't just make fun of how bad this looks because it's 2023 now. Now it's hilarious AI actors memed down by the internet, people of color most affected. He comes as talk between the Hollywood actors and studios over its long-going strike collapsed overnight in a blow up to hopes for a swift end to a crisis. A crisis. I don't know about you all, but I've certainly found plenty of movies to watch. In fact, I'll say I'm really in terms of October horror movies. You've got a pool a mile deep of classics that you can watch, and you don't need anything new. And by the way, like there's still plenty of new shows coming out. It's the one, like Disney's the one that's really in trouble. I mean, they're the one that, they have this situation now. I talked about this on Friday that, Captain Marvel is a movie that, is supposed to be a huge tentpole for them, a huge box office success. They've already delayed it. I believe they've pushed back the release date at least twice. I think 3 times might be the actual number. And the early projections came in and said that ticket pre-sales for that movie were down 72% over just what was 72. It was down 72% compared to Ant-Man, which lost money. Studios say they've offered to create a strict protection, such as requiring actors, quote, advance consent and limits on repeated use of a performer's replica. What they're worried about is these actors have they'll sign away their likenesses. I don't know if you ever saw this. There was an episode of, I feel like Black Mirror, where like Netflix had created a AI generated TV series of a actress that wasn't real. It was like completely AI generated, but everyone hated this actress in real life then because they had signed off on their likeness. That's really the future. That's the future for AI generated content. I think it will be a long time before any of these, like, you could have the star of a movie be AI, but certainly you're going to see people, in the backgrounds and things like that. I just love the words that they use. It's a crisis. We have sacrificed too much to capitulate to their stonewalling and greed, said the actors worth $100 million. This on top of, obviously, Disney execs consider radical shakeup as crisis hits centenary celebrations. With all these actors on strike, for example, Disney isn't allowed to send them out they can't go out and promote their films. So you have, I think, Wish, and then you have Captain Marvel yet this year for Disney. The actors can't go out and promote them. You've got, I think, Aquaman 2, I think this year as well. Actors can't go out and promote them. So, that's a major issue for these. And then, obviously everything going on at Disney, you're going to see massive, massive changes. We talked about last week that, essentially Disney's going to start selling off its assets. Disney's starting to, they're going to sell off Hulu, or ESPN. They're going to sell off basically everything but their theme parks and their IP. They might sell the entire company to Apple. That's an actual conversation that's being floated out there. And you have, a lot of this, they peaked during the lockdowns when everybody was signing up for Disney Plus. They're still losing billions of dollars on Disney Plus. Still now. And they've already pulled back. They've already pulled back on the amount of content that they're putting out on Disney Plus. Most people are happy to watch old classics. Physical media is still something that I strongly recommend people keep around. Not just with, the removal of content on streaming, but, the re-editing of content on streaming to get it nice and, for a modern audience. Disney's in some real trouble. I think people are burned out on Star Wars because they screwed it up. I don't think that they would be burned out on it if they didn't screw it up, but they're way more misses than hits now. I mean, look at what was the numbers on Ahsoka? They lost over 50% of their audience from the premiere episode to the finale. I think it was maybe even more than that, or close to 50%. I don't understand how they think they're going to get out of this. And it's a bed of their, they made this bed. And, the idea that they're going to be able to AI their way out of it, I don't think that they have time for that. I don't think that people are quite willing to accept this level of AI, at least until it gets much better.